Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone's doing well. So today's video is going to be completing the journal covers. So I've covered all of the journal covers in the fabric, and what I have done is I've cut up the end papers that I'm planning to use, and then I've got a centerpiece which I'll explain about in a second. So all I've done is I've just taken an A4 piece from my kits, and then I have, if you can see there, I've just sewn on an acetate pocket, and I've done the same on that one. So those are essentially going to be the end papers that will fit nicely in here. And then what my plan is, so I'm gonna put the holes into the spine whilst I've got it closed like this, just because whilst I've been doing these I've found it quite difficult to find the spine properly when I was actually making them and putting the papers on and stuff like that, and I just feel like if I try and do it any other way it's gonna be a disaster. So I'm gonna basically hold the book like this, and then I'm going to put the holes in, so I'll show you that in a second. But what I also am going to do is I'm going to use this, so kind of as a template. So I'm just going to fold this in half, so kind of as a template, but I'm also going to actually use it to glue into the spine. So what I'm used to doing is like a hidden spine, where I sew my signatures onto a piece of card and then I glue that onto my chipboard cover. But obviously this is a different kind of process completely. So the plan is to have this here, and then it'll be sewn with the signature into the spine, and then what I will be doing from there is gluing that down. So the signature will be here, this will be glued down, and then I'll have the end piece glued on top. So that's the plan. Whether that works, who knows. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to clip my signature first. So I'm just going to make sure that all my pages are in the places that I want them to be in. So some of the vellum is slightly bigger, slightly taller kind of thing, and I just want to make sure that that's all exactly where I want it to be. So we've got some book page there. Obviously I will do like a proper flip through for you so you can see what's in the signatures here. So then I've got an envelope there as well, and just want to make sure everything is really nice and tightly tucked in there. Okay, so I think that's probably as close as I'm getting that all together because of the thickness of it. So I'm just going to use a bulldog clip, and I'm doing it in this position just because it keeps them the way that I need them when they're actually folded, because obviously the majority of the time the book is going to be closed and folded, so you want them to sit that way, don't you? So I'm just going to give it an extra wiggle just to make sure I've got them exactly where I want. Okay, so that's now ready to be sewn. So let me just leave that there for a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and line this up with the centre of the spine, and then I'm going to clip that in as well. We've got some fairly small clips that I think should be perfect for that. So I just want the centre of this fold to be as close to the centre of the spine as possible, and then in terms of height be be as close to the middle there as well. Okay, so I think that should do it. she says, and then changes it. Okay, these are not tall enough, are they? Oh, they are. Right, let me just double check that. And then that one. Obviously you don't have to be like this perfect, because you know they are junk journals at the end of the day. You're not a machine, are you? Do you know what I mean? You can't be, you know, they're handcrafted, they're not perfect, they're not made in a factory, so probably don't need to worry about it as much as I'm doing, really. So in that sense, I'm not gonna be that picky about where I'm placing these. So I can feel the spine is here, and I'm quite happy that that rose is about the centre, so I'm gonna pop a hole in there and just make sure that's gone through, and then I'm gonna go for about 1 centimetre below. Just going to make sure that that is central. Just make sure that's gone through. And then the same again, about 1 centimetre. Just make sure it's between the spine. Okay. Again, just make sure that's gone through. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is use this as a template inside the signature, and I'm just going to poke my holes through using this template. So I'm just literally fitting it in the middle, and then I've got my holes, and then I'm just going to poke them through. So I do it bended so that it's easier. There we go, so it's gone right through the centre, so that's exactly what I was after. Okay, that's quite a lot there. Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna thread my needle, and then I'm just gonna put my needle straight through that, and then that's ready to get started. So I need roughly about 3 lengths of the journal. Okay, and some scissors. I usually just give it just a tiny bit extra anyway. And then I need a threader. So I've got like my little sewing drawer that's got everything in, so I've got my little threader there. Because this is quite thick thread, so that's not going to go through, I don't think, without a threader. Actually, a struggle with the threader. There we go. Okay, right. So, as soon as I take the awl out here, I'm just going to put a pin through. So that's through there, but it's underneath the template. Okay. And then I'm just doing the same again at the bottom to make sure that goes through. And I know the template keeps moving, but you know, it's the same height as the pages in the book. So they've all gone through the centre perfectly, so I'm happy with that. And obviously that pin's just falling straight back out. So then what I'm going to do is put the template on the outside, because this is what I'm going to glue to the to the spine of the book, and then I'm going to put that straight through the centre there. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that through, and before I lose the end of my thread, I'm going to just put it in under that clip, because the amount of times that I pull the thread through is ridiculous and lose it. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in through the bottom There we go. Just pull that nice and tight, and then up through the top. And before I push it too harshly through, yeah, I'm just going to check I've got the right hole there with the journal cover. Okay, so that's pulling nice and tight, and I've got that kept held. And then the last one, so this is just a 3-hole pamphlet stitch that I'm doing. So I'm just going to pop this back through the centre hole and hope that I can get it through the papers. It's not doing it. Okay, so I'm just going to release this one so that I can see where the problem is. Okay. This happens to me a lot, unfortunately, when I'm trying to sew signatures. So what I end up having to do is literally just put it through page by page. It just makes it easier. I can't seem to get it through the first page for some reason. There we go. Okay. So I've got that through a few pages. Just have to find where I've gone through. There we go. Right, so I've just missed some there. There we go. Okay. Right. So I'm just going to put this one this side of the central one. So I'm just gonna, so that's nice and straight, isn't it? So it's not too bad. So I'm gonna release the signature, and then I'm just gonna pull through nice and tight and just make sure that I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's nice and tight there. And then I'm just gonna tie a knot, and then double tie it, and then that's nice and secure then. And I will leave that there just so that I've got that in case I want to add dangles or anything like that. So that's the signature now sewn in. So next what I want to do is glue this piece to the spine just to give it just a little bit more structure, rigidity kind of thing. So I'm using Fabri-Tac or Beacon 3-in-1, whichever, just in a Sugar Bell bottle. And the reason why it's in a Sugar Bell bottle is because a few people, a few of the crafters online use these. And sorry, I thought that maybe I'd put that in the wrong way because the pattern's directional, but I haven't, it's fine. But yeah, a few of the crafters use these Sugar Bell bottles, and they put their glue into them because they're a bit kind of easier to squeeze and handle than the actual Fabri-Tac or Beacon glue bottles. And they're not wrong, I'll be honest. The only problem is they are expensive. So I ordered these from Amazon because they're from America, so they took a few weeks to arrive. And they are quite expensive, but this is my first time using them, so I don't want to give it like a full-on review and be like, yeah, they're 100% worth the money, because I think realistically I could probably have managed with the Fabri-Tac glue bottle. It's not really a problem, but I suppose it's helpful for if you've got any like problems with your hands or anything like that. So I know some of the crafters suffer with arthritis and things, so I suppose a Sugar Bell bottle might be easier for that. I mean, they're not like incredibly squishy. I mean, they're definitely a lot squishier than a normal glue bottle, but You know, it's not like squeezing a tube of toothpaste or anything, especially when you've got the glue to actually squeeze through the nozzle. But the nozzle is actually better, I'll be honest. So with the Fabri-Tac glue, it kind of just spews out, which is really, really annoying, and it just gets really, really messy. But I'll be honest, so far, I mean, I've only done 2 little bits with this, but so far I'm not messy, which is nice. So, and there's no like spew coming out at the top or anything, so that's really a bonus. So it just kind of makes it a bit more convenient, really. So I'm just using the bone folder just to try and make sure I've got some good contact there. I'm trying not to get glue on this one, but if I use my other one that has got glue on it, it'll rip the page. I really do need to buy a new bone folder. Okay. Okay, so the next part that I'm going to do, so I just want to fold this cover up to make sure, preferably, that no glue is getting on the signature. Just make sure that I can actually fold the cover, because the Fabri-Tac is really good glue for covers because it stiffens a lot. So when you're actually doing your cover, it adds an extra layer of rigidity to it, which I really, really like. So I just need to get rid of that wet glue. So I'm just using the bone folder to just kind of work this down into the edges, just to make sure that, again, there's good contact and that it's easy enough to kind of move around. Okay, there we go. Right, so next bit is to glue in the pockets. So I just want to check, even though you're not really gonna see it that much anyway, just want to make sure that the pattern that I'm putting on here kind of fits okay. So I think that side, yeah, so I think that one on the back and that one can go there. Okay. So I'm not going to be putting the closure inside, I'm going to be doing them on the outside, and I'll show you those after. So all I'm going to do is just kind of cover this in Fabri-Tac, and then I'm going to stick it on there. So just to tell you a little bit about my eventful day yesterday. So basically I filmed a video for about an hour and it didn't record. Or it did record and it's disappeared, or I don't really know what happened to it, basically. So I've essentially had to redo the entire thing today. I'm just making sure I'm getting some glue over the stitching as well, because that'll just make sure that that stays in place, especially because I'll explain in a minute, but some of the stitching that I did yesterday was atrocious. So basically what I was trying to, I just literally did this same process, but then I also added in some extra bits of me kind of sewing the fabric onto the closures, so the buckles that I've made. So I've made all 5 buckles, so I was showing you how to do that, and literally I ended up recording that part of the video like 4 times, I think. Twice was an alarm, so apparently if an alarm goes off whilst you're recording a video, sorry I just headbutted the camera, it basically just stops the video from recording, and I'm just like, how is that a feature? So because it took me by surprise and I needed it to go away quickly, I pressed snooze and didn't realise, so I ended up then having that alarm come back up again, 10 minutes later, and it's basically my alarm to remember to put the shopping order through, pretty much. And yeah, so I snoozed that, then tried to re-record the video, and then the snooze came up again and stopped the recording then. It's just like, oh god. And then whilst I was trying to record some of the stitching videos, which I knew was a bad idea to even attempt, the thread just kept snapping, and it shouldn't snap because it's quite a good, well-known brand. I think it's Gutterman, which is like a very good brand of thread, really. They're not supposed to snap at all, and unfortunately it just kept snapping. And what I'd realised was there was a piece of the thread that wasn't quite threaded through some small part of the machine, because my husband, silly and lovely as he is, when he came home, came upstairs to see me and like see what I'd been working on and stuff, which was really lovely. And then he sat on the floor, which was where my sewing machine was kind of sitting for the time being, and he pressed a button to make it automatically sew, and then that unthreaded the entire machine. And I was just like, oh, because I'm not confident enough with the machine to know exactly what to do if something goes wrong with it. So there's this tiny little piece at the back of the machine, and I just didn't realise that wasn't threaded, so that was what would be keeping it taut, I think. And then I remembered it eventually, but I'd already unfortunately gone through every single buckle that I'd made in a video to try and, because I've only got 5, so I'd gone through all of them in videos trying to show you how to do it, and then I'd snapped the thread in every single one of them. And then also I was trying to record a little bit of me sewing the acetate pockets on, and again the same sort of thing was happening. I really didn't realise that until quite near the end of the evening, and it was literally daylight when I'd started trying to record some of those videos, and then it was evening, like literally pitch black outside, before I was able to actually figure out what I'd done wrong and fix it and stuff. So in the end I just gave up, because I was just like, I'm so tired. I've been just doing, because I booked the day off work yesterday so that I could get through some of the things in my backlog for my business stuff. So I got through quite a lot of things. I got a few things done, which I will tell you about in a second. I'll show you actually as well. Yeah, I got through loads of stuff yesterday, but because I'd been literally working from morning until night, I was so tired. My back was killing, my head was throbbing, and I was just like, oh god, I just need a little bit of sofa time. So yeah, I just went downstairs, snuggled up on the sofa with my husband, and we just watched Beef, which is a TV show on Netflix that I'm not entirely sold on at the moment, but you know, it's not too bad. It's Glenn from Walking Dead, so I was just like, let's give it a go. But yeah, it's not too bad. I think it's got like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes or something, but usually that tends to mean that it's probably something I don't really enjoy that much. I don't know why. But yeah, not because it's got the reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. It's just usually when something's got really high reviews on there, I tend to find that it's quite lame, but I don't know. So anyway, what I did yesterday, so because obviously I'm doing these journals, I wanted to, and I've been going through the ephemera and stuff to get ready for decorating the journals, and I was thinking, you know, I really love all these cute little envelopes that I've got, but I want some big ones. So I did include some in the signature, so you might have seen a couple when I just flipped through there to attach the signature. But I wanted some proper Pastel Goth ones, so I made some. I'll grab them when I've finished sticking this down. and I'll show you. So I've made a pack of 5 and I'll be putting them in my Etsy shop as like an add-on kit for the Pastel Goth. And then the other thing that I did was I created 40 ATCs, so artist trading cards. So they're roughly about the size of a playing card. They're not exactly that size, and I mean you can change the size when you're printing them out yourself and stuff like that. Clearly just have not gone to the edges on these corners. But yeah, so they're a pack of 5 pages to print out, and there are 8 on each page, so there's 40. And what they are is, so I mentioned the other day that I use Midjourney, which is an AI art generator, which I know a lot of people are concerned about and stuff like that, but I have looked into it, and there is no kind of copyright breach or anything like that with using something like Midjourney AI. It's, you know, you author the images and then it pulls from images available on the internet even, and makes an entirely new kind of image. So I really enjoy using that, and I've just started with it. And I made, well, I basically created loads and loads of Pastel Goth images that I really enjoyed. And then I was like, well, how can I use these? Because I didn't want to do too much to alter them. And I thought ATCs would probably be a really good idea. So I've put together a kit of 40 ATCs. And they will be available in my shop soon. They're not available right now, but they might be by the time that I'm posting this video, I'm not too sure. But if they are available, I will link them in the description below, but there will also be a reveal and a flip through video on my channel, which you'll see. And in that vein, what I would say is, if you are watching me, please can you subscribe to me? Just because obviously you'll get notifications if I upload a video, especially if you're following this series, but also it really massively would support my business. So I've got at the moment 115 incredibly wonderful subscribers, and honestly I love you all so much. Thank you so much for subscribing to me, and thank you for liking and watching and commenting on my videos. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it so much. It means the world to me that you do it. And the reason why I'm asking is because I need at least 1,000 subscribers in order to actually put external links in my shop, well, to my shop, so in my description to my shop and things like that. And if I'm trying to link you to Instagram or other places, like if I get a website or something like that, I can't kind of, you can obviously copy and paste the links, but it would just massively help my business out if you could subscribe. So if you are a watcher and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I honestly cannot be more grateful for everyone that's already subscribed and to anyone that's willing to. And what I will do is, when I do reach 1,000 subscribers, I will do a giveaway, which will be international as well as in the UK. So I'll do like a random draw from all of my subscribers. So if you can share my channel, get your friends to like me, anything that you can do, I'd really appreciate, just to try and get me up there to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And yeah, you could be in with a chance of winning something. I'm not going to say exactly what it is yet because I have no idea, because I imagine it'll be a little while off yet until I get 1,000, but yeah, I would really appreciate it. Okay, so the journal cover is now made. So we've sewn the signature in and kept it nice and tight, so I'm quite happy with that, to be honest. I think that looks quite good. I'll just do it that way so you can actually see the full length. And then inside I've glued in the pocket, the end paper with the pocket on, and the spine is all nice and secure in there as well, so you can't see any kind of gap or anything like that. And the same on this side. So that's all nice and secured in there with that pocket and end paper glued on nicely there. So I'm just going to quickly show you. I'm not going to do a full flip through because I will have a full flip through video on my channel. I've got all sorts of stuff here. Okay, so these are some of the ATCs. So I won't like I say do all of them, but just to show you that these are the style of thing that I'm talking about that I've got. So what I want to do is obviously use these to embellish the journal. So I could put in some of them in the pockets here and stuff like that. So that's those, and like I say, there's 5 pages, but I'm not going to go through them all here because there will be a full video flip through of them. And then I've also got my envelopes as well. So I have, as you can see, used pages from the kit to kind of put these together, and again, these can kind of be stuffed into the pocket and used throughout the journal. So I've got 5 of these. And I'm only doing it really quickly because again, I have got this all on a flip through video, but I'm going to be using these to embellish the journals with as well, because I like a bigger envelope, and obviously the comparison of the size of these compared to the other tiny ones is quite different. So that's basically what I really want to do. So the last thing I want to show you in this video is the closures. So I made all 5, and I did explain what I was going to do, and it's really easy. So all I've done is I've used the spider web tablecloth netting that I mentioned the other day. So I've used that, and then what I've done is I've simply just put a little end of it over this bar, and then I've just run a stitch, so you can see it's that there. So I've just simply run a stitch through that, and then all you do is grab your journal, and then you want to aim it so that you've got the buckle roughly around in the middle, and then you put the first bit up through the back, over the bar, and then down underneath the beads so that you can see them. So just to show you what that'll look like, just frill that out a little bit, and then there you go. So that's the closure done for the cover as well. So I'm going to go away and do the same thing that I've done on the inside of this journal with the other 4 journals. And then the next thing that I'm going to do with you is I'm going to do a topper for the journal cover, because I love this fabric, and I like it on the back and stuff, but I want a little bit more going on. So I'm going to be doing some journal toppers, and I might make all 5 because I'm probably not going to do those exactly the same. I'd like them to have a bit of variation. And then I'm just going to very quickly do a flip through of what I've got in this journal so far so that you can see. So we've got a lace pocket, a little piece of vellum, a vellum and page pocket, so I've sewn that together, a bit of book page from Grey's Anatomy, ink dyed page, an envelope which I think what I'm going to do is stamp on to give it a bit more interest, so there's stuff going on, and another bit of book page from a vampire storybook, which is pretty cool, eco dyed, and then another envelope as well, so this will be like the tuck side of things, so you can put stuff in there. And then another vellum pocket here, another lace pocket there, and then this is a book page pocket. So yeah, sorry, not a book page pocket, a paper bag pocket. And then this is more ink sprayed paper, and then that's the centre. So then it's just going to be the same on the other side, going back through. So vellum pocket, lace pocket, the other side of that envelope, and the other side of the first envelope, the other vellum pocket, another lace pocket there, and then that brings us to the back. So that's the journal. So all we've got left now really is the topper, and then we've got the decorating process. So will you let me know down in the comments if you want to see me decorate all 5 of them, or whether you'd prefer just to kind of see one, because it might be fairly similar what I'm doing. So let me know what you think, but please do subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the video, and please give me a comment. I really do love reading your comments. It's so much fun, and you always bring a smile to my face, so thank you very much for those of you that are commenting on my videos. I really appreciate it. Alright, well, thank you very much for watching. Hope you're having a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye!